Yes, good morning and welcome. You're still watching Power Breakfast right here on Citizen TV, and it's that time when you take a look at the headlines. This being Wednesday, we have an all-female news review panel. We have Senator Beatrice Elachi and also Rosa Buyu, Deputy Organizing Secretary, ODM. It's always a pleasure to have you ladies on this panel. Now, of course, the headlines this morning are very interesting. Inside story of Raila talks with Orengo and Mudama. I'm sure Madam Rosa Buyu would give us the finer details of what's happening there. And Jubilee acts to stop fallout of a national campaign team, and we have one person who's in that campaign team, and that's Senator Beatrice Elachi. On the front page of the Daily Nation, a quick one. Auditor stands by 5 billion shilling Afia House dossier. What has been denied over and over by Jubilee politicians, the probe continues. There's something wrong. But before we get into that, there's a very disturbing story on the page 2 of the Standard, and it's about a Facebook post, a racist Facebook post directed at outgoing US First Lady Michelle Obama. Now, the controversial post that began with a non-profit group owner sacked in a local mayor of a small town in the US state of West Virginia before rapidly spreading across the US and the world. Pamela Ramsey Taylor, who runs a local non-profit group in Clay County, first posted on Facebook referring to the First Lady as an ape. Yep. She said, quote, "It will be refreshing to have a classy, beautiful, dignified First Lady in the White House. I'm tired of seeing ape in heels." End of quote. Ladies, I don't know what to say. That kind of racism, that level of hatred directed at the first family of the United States.
Fred, I know many people have been saying that Hillary Clinton lost because she's a woman. Hillary Clinton did not lose because she's a woman. Hillary Clinton lost because her policy was that of inclusivity. That took care of all the Americans, whether you are black, white, whether you are Muslim or whatever. So long as you are an American, Hillary's policy would have equally taken care of you in the American government, as propagated by Hillary. If you look at Trump on the other side, Trump was propagating for white supremacy because he was against the blacks, he's against Muslim, he's against anybody who he feels is infiltrating the original or indigenous white America. And when you see comments like this coming from not just white people, but white women, that alone underscores the fact that this whole election was about white supremacy. Yes. Because these are women, but they're only talking like this because they are white. Yes. And they think that Michelle should not have been in the White House because she's black. Yes. And look at how they refer to her, ape in heels. That's highly derogatory. And of course it went on. A local mayor of that town is called Beverly Walling, responded by saying to that post, "Just made my day, Pam." And these are people in high position. An elected mayor.
Well, it is very unfortunate. And that's why I say, and I just want to add on what Rosa has said, that the whites who, in quotes, tried to pretend, yes, we are with Hillary, they were just pretending, but they knew because this is a secret ballot. On the day of the vote, our vote will speak. And that's why they kept on saying there is the silent, meaning on their campaign message, there was only one thing, that we have to remove the minorities. They are the ones who took power. We have to ensure we show them that indeed this is our country, and that anybody who comes in, it is the white man who speaks first. Well, for me, I would want to tell the people in the United States, it's unfortunate, but because you've just gone back to the years you had slavery in your country. And therefore you have no obligation, no business coming to the world and tell them how they need to run their laws, they need to be together, inclusivity. You need to go back and do very serious civic education to your people, because America is going to burn. Yes. America is going back to the years they thought you are a black, I'm a white. They're even going to, if they're not careful, even restaurants will start now behaving the same. Because if you find a mayor who comes and says they've made my day, it means any black person trying to rove into her county will be checked out. Yes. Yeah. Of course, Clay County itself has no African Americans, and more than 98%
of its 9,000 residents are white.
So we go back to the days of segregation.
Segregation.
So
that any black who comes there is supposed to just stay in the doing their farm work and all that.
But what does it say to if we were to draw parallels with our situation here in Kenya, where tribalism is so entrenched? We play our politics along tribal lines, and theirs is racial. But years on, nothing changes.
Do you know what? We are better off 100 times. You know why? This tribal plays just within us, the political class. But when you go now to those rural folks back home, there is no day if my neighbor is Luo in Western, I even think of her Luo. Because I know when I wake up, we are in a chama. When I wake up, there are things we do together. When she's sick, we will contribute together. The only thing we need to do as the political class is to be very careful with all this. Because we are the ones who bring out those words, not the folks, not an African person, not just in Kenya. In the African context, we are so different because we believe the external family is also your family. And the problem with Western countries is external family is zero. It is a nobody. But for us, you will find your father, why you could not have bread on your table is because he has taken all the others together, and you must grow and learn to live together.
Fred, I think what this does is it should also signal danger to us. The situation is almost the same as what's happening in the country now. The Constitution gives us the spirit of inclusivity. And if you look at many of the articles in that Constitution, it states that all Kenyans are equal. And even for those who might not be as equal to the others, you have affirmative action programs or affirmative action opportunities being accorded to them. But what we see in the country now, we see politics of exclusion in terms of development, in terms of social amenities, and in terms of everything that the government is doing. It has been said, and I believe, that the two major, I don't know whether tribal groupings in the country, and that is Central Province and Rift Valley, seem to take the chunk of all the appointments that come out. Yet we are 42 tribes in this country. Now if we continue with that, we are reading America, theirs is based on race, but ours is tribe. But it is basically the same thing. When you begin to exclude others because they don't belong to that tribe, and everything good that comes out of the country only benefits two tribes, we are doing exactly the same thing that's happening in America. And it is dangerous for the society.
Senator.
Rosa, I want to tell you this. We are women. We cannot go that route of men, the way they play their politics. In our country right now, with devolution, there's no exclusion. Let's start from there. Number two, in all the programs that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has done, he has never excluded. In fact, the code areas are more the beneficiary of those programs than the two tribes they keep on saying. And for me as a woman, I don't want to go that route. All I'm saying, as a woman of this country, the politics of men should not bring us to where Mrs. Obama has reached. Because it's only men who divide and rule. Women, we can't, because you are married to another tribe. So you still have children of another tribe where maybe in politics you are not of the same, but you're there. So for me as a woman of Kenya, I must rebuke this and say, for us as we go to our politics, as women, we shall stand to ensure Kenya is inclusive. In terms of projects, I believe with devolution,
what about appointments?
With I want to give Rosa a very good example. We've been fighting in the Senate about appointments of vice chancellors in this country. I was shocked to find it is my Luya tribe that is #1 in this country. As much as, and who asked the same questions? Us. But now when the figures come out, and Rosa knows very well, Luos and Kikuyus should not be telling us all these things, because they are the beneficiaries of many things that are in this country. If our commissions is Luos and Kikuyus, so let us not go that route, because if we come with the names, her community also will be blamed that she's part of it.
That even these racial emotions were toned down for quite a number of years, but it took one politician to come and to raise them up again, and it turns out into this.
So it was simmering underneath. And I want to say that when we are discussing the country and the state of the country, let us not be as a woman, as a man, as a what. We are discussing things that are affecting Kenyans, whether you're a woman or you're a man. So when I'm talking here, I know I'm a woman, but I'm talking as a Kenyan, and I'm discussing issues that are affecting Kenyans. So, Beatrice, I don't want you to tell me,
well,
the woman don't go that way.
No,
I want to analyze
we
issues
must show
as a
men,
Kenyan.
we must show men there is a difference when I'm in power and there is a difference when my men are in power.
But that doesn't
because in the end of the
reality.
day, who am I fighting with? In that space? Who? How come when I'm fighting in that space I should be a woman? Yes.
Okay.
So in my issues, I should say in a leadership of a woman, this is how it has to be. Yes.
Okay.
I think my being a woman should not cloud my assessment of issues that are affecting Kenya, because the Constitution is not just for women. The Constitution is about Kenya and about Kenyans. So let us look at these issues as Kenyans, because when you begin to say, let's have the woman eye, then we are missing the point.
Okay.
No, I'm not missing.
Before we come to corruption, let's take a look at other headlines that will probably uplift our spirits.